Welcome, welcome, and Merry Christmas. We are so excited that you're here today. We're going to be teaching you how to decorate a gorgeous woodland Christmas tree. And you guys, neutrals are so on trend for 2022, and I think you're going to absolutely love this design. We are popping a little bit of hunter green in this year, which is also a big trend for the season. So we're excited to show you our 4-step process and how you can achieve this look in your home. The first step of our 4-step process is the topper. And you've seen me do this before. We're gonna be using 4 pieces, and we're gonna replicate this 3 times on this 9-foot tree. For the pieces, we're gonna use this nice berry piece, this kind of airy birch looking with pine cones, and then we're gonna use a couple florals that'll come right at the base of this. We're gonna start with this piece, and when it comes, it's gonna be compact. You just wanna open it up by pulling each of these little stems out. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna run the stem straight along the pole of your Christmas tree. And like I said, this is a 9-foot tree. We're gonna do one on the front and one on each side. If you have a 12-foot tree, you're gonna replicate this 5 times. And then again, two times for a 7.5-foot tree. And we're working all one style first, and then we'll come in with the style of the other spray next. As you place your first few, you might want to actually wrap a branch or 2 of the Christmas tree around it to kind of give it some stability and support. The next stem is this airy birch spray, which I just absolutely love. It has little pine cones, a little bit of iridescence and glitter. So now what we're gonna do is same thing. We're gonna run this stem straight along the pole, and then you're just gonna kind of pull these out to get the look that you like. And you can move pieces around so that it feels symmetrical all the way around your topper. Now this is not a very full topper. If you like a fuller topper, absolutely feel free to build this out using more sprays. You can use 6 or 7 pieces per spray if you like a fuller topper. This one is more simplistic though. This is our woodland bundle, so if you like what you see today, you can actually go onto our website, decoratorswarehouse.com, and you can put in the size of your tree. We'll ship you all of the flowers, ribbons, sprays that you see here. Now what I'm doing is I'm running the 2 florals that I showed you earlier right at the base of my topper, which is gonna create the transition into the rest of the decor. And I'm gonna angle the heads outward a little bit, so I'm just bending the stem. And then again, I'm running that straight down the pole, and I'm placing them at various heights. So you can see this one's a little bit lower. This one is kind of up and out. Now I'm gonna replicate that 2 more times for this 9-foot tree. The second step of our 4-step process is the ribbon. I adore ribbon. I think it's so fun and it makes such a big impact on your tree. So for this particular design, we're gonna use 2 ribbons. This one, which I love, so it kind of has a birch look, a little bit of iridescence. It's 4 inches and 10 yards, and it's got a great wired edge on it. That's gonna be our main ribbon that we're gonna weave through the tree. And then I also have this really pretty brand new kind of a hunter green plaid that we're just gonna pop in as accents, and I'm gonna hold that until the end. Just set that aside and we'll go back to it in a little bit. All right, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut a diagonal edge on my ribbon. So just straight across at a diagonal. Or you can fold it and you can cut a fishtail also if you like that other detailing. So we're gonna start kind of right here at the base of our topper. We're gonna wanna fill in that hole, and then we're gonna work in series of loops and tails. And we're gonna cut between every continuation of loops. So I'm gonna start with the tail. This is kind of my signature, but definitely do whatever you feel led to. I'm gonna start with a 2-loop bow at the top. So I've got my tail, and then I'm just going to basically fold that, probably like 8 inches. And then we are going to twist. You want to do a hard twist to get that pretty side back up to the top. Okay. And then we are going to make another loop. So, and you can kind of pull them up and make sure they're the same size. This one's a tad bigger. All right, and then again, we're gonna twist that forward. So right now I'm just holding it with my fingers. You could come in and floral wire it. I just use the branches of the tree, but if you want to pull this back out the following year, wire works great for that. So I'm gonna find a little pocket here. I'm gonna use 2 branches and wrap it around to secure it in place. And then I'm just gonna come back in and fluff it out. And then I'm gonna go directly into a loop. Great thing about wired ribbon, it really holds its shape. So I can kind of create a billow in there so it's not flat on the tree, but it has a nice shape. And again, just using the branches to wrap it in place. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go directly into a second loop, and I'm gonna pull it offset a little bit. So that one's kind of more in front. This one's gonna go to the right side. And I'm gonna come down just two rows of branches, wrap it in place, and then I'm gonna cut a tail. Now basically we're gonna continue some form of this process throughout the whole tree. I like to use 2 loops. Sometimes if it's down towards the bottom of the tree and I don't have enough continuous space, I might just do 1 loop followed by a small loop similar to this. But you can put those little decorative loops wherever you want. You could put one in the middle, you could put one at the top, you could put one at the bottom as well. So for this one, I've got a tail and a loop, and then I'll start going into my bigger loop formations. And if I'm over on this side, I just want to come offset a bit. So I'm going to start my second continuation right at this spot. For this 9-foot tree, I'm using 3 rolls of this 10-yard ribbon for the body of the tree. It's kind of a mid-sized tree. If you have a really full tree or full 360 view, I would add another roll, so go up to 4. We use 2 to 3 on a 7.5-foot tree, and then somewhere between 5 to 6 on a 12-foot tree. My second step, the ribbon, is complete. Now normally I would go into step 3, which is the florals and sprays. I'm actually gonna place the bells before I add my florals and sprays. That way I can kind of work around them as I go. So if you have oversized items, it's kind of a good point to do it would be after the ribbon is on the tree. So I have 7 of these bells in this 9-foot tree. I am going to kind of work them through the tree in a zigzag formation. I'm gonna use this piece here, this hanger, and I'm gonna wrap the branches around it to hold it in place. My bigger pieces are placed, so now I'm gonna come in with step 3, which is all of our florals and sprays. And we're gonna use a technique called floral clustering. You've probably seen me do it before, but it's where we use sprays and florals and we put them together in one big piece. So it takes up big chunks of your tree and it gives you a very designer look. So the way that we're gonna do it, we're actually using the 4 pieces we used in the topper. I like to mix, a berry shape with something that's a little more flat or leafy, just something with a different texture. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna place them kind of together, like we're marrying them, and pull some forward and some back. And then we're gonna come in with our florals and we're gonna lay them on top and then kind of angle your head up and out. And then we're gonna take the other one, similar to how we did the topper where they're not level, we want the same thing here. So this one's this way and this one is kind of up and out. Now once I've done that, you can actually come in with the stems, just one of the stems, and wrap it around all of the stems to hold it in place. This is great, if you're gonna use the same decor from year to year, because you can just pull these straight out of storage and stick them into your tree. So I'm using 9 of these in the body of the tree. I have 3 in the topper, but I have 9 in the body, so a total of 12 on this tree. Kind of a good rule of thumb is 1 per foot of tree. For a 12-foot tree, we use about 14 of them. You're a little bit wider at the base, so you want more than the 1 per foot ratio there. All right, and I can bend this up just so it doesn't pop out the other side. And then I'm gonna start placing these, notice I'm kind of angling up, but I'm gonna place them in a zigzag around the tree. And then I'm gonna use the actual branches of the tree to hold it in place. And you can actually prep these ahead of time to save you a lot of time when you go to start setting up. Just taking tags off, assembling clusters, that's gonna make the whole decorating process really smooth and quick. Once my clusters are placed, I'm now gonna use a series of single florals and single sprays to kind of fill in holes that I have. So I'm gonna work one style at a time, and I'm gonna kind of come zigzag of the clusters that I've already placed. So I'll have one here, and then my next one will probably be over here on this side, and so forth. Once all my single stem flowers are placed, I'm now gonna come in with single stem sprays. Sprays are amazing. They are what gives your tree texture and dimension and just kind of fills in anywhere that we still have gaps. So I like to use a combination of different textures. I'm using 4 sprays on this particular tree in addition to the ones that are attached in the clusters. But I've got this one. It's a nice cream and brown berry. Got a real big icy one. You actually could even put a few of these in your topper if you wish. Love this one too. It's really large, so it'll open up and provide a good airy texture. And then this is kind of one of our go-to fillers. It's called the dewberry, but it's great too because it's nice and big and airy, and it's gonna take up some big chunks in our tree. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go one style at a time and just kind of place all of my sprays wherever I see holes in a zigzag formation. The fourth and final step is our ornament. So what I like to do for ornaments is use a variety of different textures and colors and sizes of balls. So these are gonna go kind of deeper into the tree. I'm looking for, places where I have like pockets, and I'm gonna stick them a little bit further into the tree. And then I also have these fun little snowflakes that I'll put more on the outside of the branches. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now, and then I'll come back at the very end with that accent ribbon that we held. The last thing I'm gonna do on this tree is add in this fun plaid accent ribbon. I just love the pop of hunter green, and I think it's gonna give this woodland tree a very different look from last year. So what I'm gonna do with the accent ribbon, there's a few different things. You can pinch it in the middle and make a cut at a diagonal here, so it's kind of like a little bow tie. But my favorite one, and the one I'm gonna use throughout this tree design, is the one loop bow. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna leave a tail. I'm gonna create one loop, so I'm just gonna pinch. And then again, I'm gonna twist to bring that other side up. And then I'm gonna cut this at a diagonal as well. And then I'm gonna go through the tree, and wherever I see, little spaces or a lot of green, I'm gonna pop these little accent bows in. So it's just gonna give us that little pop of color, but I think you're really gonna love the result. All right, guys, that wraps us up with our 4-step process. If you found this informative and would love more Christmas content, be sure to follow our page by hitting subscribe. And then you can also find us at decoratorswarehouse.com, and we are on Pinterest, Facebook, and Instagram as well. Again, this is our woodland Christmas tree bundle, so you can actually purchase this entire package based on the size of your tree. It includes all of the ribbon, florals, sprays, and ornaments, and we ship it straight to your door. Or you can shop the individual pieces in our woodland collection. We wish you Merry Christmas and happy decorating.